Hello everyone, and welcome to the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Care Network. I'm Dean, the host of this channel, and also the host of the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. Today I'm going to be presenting to you episode 125 on the N.A.R.C.N network, and the topic and title of episode 125 is, Can or Will the Narcissist Ever Change? So, can the narcissist ever change? Is the narcissist willing to change? These are some very interesting questions that are not really so easy to answer, but we're going to investigate in this dialogue a little bit about the scientific aspects of these two particular questions. Now, will the narcissist ever change? That is largely based on the narcissists themselves. As we know, narcissists by their nature do not voluntarily seek out professional, psychological, or psychiatric help for the conditions that they suffer from. The condition the narcissist is in the first place is one where they don't want to self-admit what they are. They may not realize what they are if they're mid-level or lower. They do not openly or readily want to change their behaviors, especially, again, if they're not aware that they are a narcissist in the first place, or they don't think that they are one. But whether or not a narcissist is actually clinically a narcissist or not is actually relatively easy to diagnose, provided that that narcissist openly presents all of the things to the medical professionals that they are going through. If a narcissist actually talks openly with a psychologist or a therapist and openly admits to that therapist that they have a lot of the key elemental narcissistic attributes, then a therapist can openly see what may be going on with a narcissist, and that narcissist may be able to be treated in some particular way. But as we know, and Professor Sam Vaknin talks about this a lot on his channel, whether a narcissist is treated or not for their condition, that person still remains a narcissist their whole life. It becomes a question of being self-aware that they have clinical narcissistic attributes, then coming forward, admitting those attributes to a medical professional or to someone that can help them, and then trying to actively change those things so that they do not affect the people around them. One prime example of this we can see is Sam Vaknin's wife. She's well aware that her husband is a narcissist of a high level. She's learned to manage that and to deal with it, and Professor Vaknin himself has learned to manage his narcissism also. And what he does with it is he actively tries as well as he can to control his narcissistic attributes so that they don't affect other people, like his wife or friends or other people around him. But it is an ongoing thing that he must keep up to try to actively keep on top of not exhibiting that narcissistic behavior or the things that go along with it to others around them. Not to take advantage of people, not to just do all the things that a narcissist does with the people that are surrounding them. So it becomes a question of, if you are aware that you're a narcissist, or you can suddenly admit that you may have a clinical narcissism, that the narcissist themselves wants to effectively take action to stop exhibiting that behavior. So, can a narcissist change? I think the answer is yes. They can actively choose to stop doing the things that they do to the people around them, and to stop subjecting people around them to their narcissistic abuse. So voluntarily, a narcissist can take those actions to quell what they may be doing in their life with others around them. But again, that has to be the narcissist's choice. You cannot force a narcissist to do something like this. It doesn't matter if you subject them to psychological therapy or whatever. If the narcissist is not aware that they're a narcissist, they're not going to be able to reform. If the narcissist is unwilling to do the things necessary to reform themselves, again, they're not going to reform voluntarily. You can't force a narcissist to do this, and you certainly cannot get a narcissist to do this who is unaware that they are one, or that is not willing to admit that they have NPD attributes, and to actually come forth and openly discuss this with any type of psychological therapist or medical professional. So they can change only under the conditions that they voluntarily want to. Will a narcissist change? This is another question. Again, I think that 99% of narcissists who know that they are narcissists or don't know that they are narcissists are unwilling to realize that they are. If that's the case, you may have lessers who don't know that they are narcissists or clinical narcissists. They are unwilling to admit this because it places a type on them or a specific word on them that they don't want. They don't want to be recognized as being a narcissist. Most people would not want to be recognized as a narcissist, I think, because narcissists are never painted in a very positive light by anyone. So they will reject that stigma or that accusation of being a narcissist if it's put towards them. Now, a narcissist who knows that they are a narcissist, they won't want to admit that either unless they come to some realization in their life that they have to change for some reason. And less than 1%, it's something like 0.07% of narcissists who know that they are narcissists will ever come forward and seek help for their narcissism. Their narcissism will just not allow them to do this. Narcissism is a condition of camouflage. This is a person who is camouflaging who they actually are so that others don't see what they are and who they are, and they present a false self to everyone that they want everyone to see, but they do not want them to see the true person that they really are. So they will use that camouflage to actually hide, and this is what they do. And when they hide, they're hiding for a great myriad of reasons. It can be due to abuse that they had when they were young that's formed them into being a narcissist, neglect, trauma, other influences in their formative years. Many things make a narcissist, as well as we also now know that even genetics can make a narcissist. It can be passed down from generation to generation. So there are many reasons why they may be a narcissist, and they probably do not want anyone to know what those reasons are or what they truly are. So less than 1% of narcissists that are aware they're narcissists ever seek help to reform themselves, and sadly this is the case. So when we ask the question, can or will a narcissist ever change? I think that a certain percent of narcissists can, if they are willing to admit that they suffer from narcissistic disorder, which most narcissists aren't willing to admit. But I do know a few off of the N.A.R.C.N network. There's a handful of them that I've dealt with. Besides the narcissistic victims I deal with on the channel, I have a few people who are actually narcissists on the channel as well too. And a few of them have come forward to admit that they are narcissists and they know that they have these attributes and they want to actively change them. And I will help a narcissist in any way that I can to do this. in the most non-judgmental way that I can. It may seem that when I present myself on the channel that I am condemning narcissists. And though I do believe that narcissism is wrong, and the behavior and thingies that narcissists do to their victims are wrong completely, if a narcissist comes forward and admits to me that they are a narcissist and that they want to get out of being this, I will do whatever I can to help them in that way too, just like I would help any victims on my channel to deal with whatever's gone on with them. And I do have a handful of narcissists who are actively right now trying to change their behavior for the people around them, or trying to reform themselves because they do not want to be seen as narcissistic individuals. But again, it takes a great deal of balls for a person who thinks they are a narcissist to come forward and admit that. Most narcissists won't. This few that I'm dealing with have come forward, and I give them great accolades for doing this, or coming forward to anyone, be it their psychologists or therapists or even me, to seek some type of assistance with this, because they are really wanting to get themselves out of the behaviors that they are doing as narcissists, and try to get into being better people in their lives for themselves, I guess, and especially for the people around them that deal with them. So this kind of answers the questions: can or will a narcissist ever change? Some can. You need to be aware. The narcissist needs to be aware of what they are, and they need to be open that they want to change, and be truthful with themselves that they want to change, because most narcissists don't want to do that. It requires that openness, that willing to change, that willing to admit that they're a narcissist, that willing to realize that they are a clinical narcissist through some assessment by a professional, or a psychiatric medical individual that can actually determine whether or not they have clinical narcissism. These things all have to be achieved before a narcissist can make any change effective in their lives. And these are basically the responses to, can or will a narcissist ever change? These are the answers to the questions I particularly have here. So this has been episode 125. Hopefully this gave you guys a little bit of insight into whether the narcissist is willing or can even change. I'm going to say to you guys, stay tuned on the network. I've got lots of new content coming up. I've got new content coming up on the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you really soon with some new videos.